Okay, guys, we're back for part 5. Jimdel-Edu, welcome back. This is part 5. Last time, guys, we work on live support chat.js. Yeah, and this is where we left. Now, this is part 5. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to create our config.php. That is to say, I'm going to connect our database. We did create our database and we did create all our tables on the previous tutorial on part 1. And now I'm going to connect our database, which is we are going to create our first file called inside of our main folder called config.php. Okay. This is let me show you. This is our database. This is our database name called live underscore. You can add or put anything you want. You can call it anything you want, but I call mine. Let me increase the size so that you can see. Is our database live chat support. This is our database. Also, this is where our where we left on part 4. And now when you click on the app and it will open, also when you click on the X to close it, it will close. Okay? Now we cannot do anything yet. We cannot submit or sign in anything yet because we're not done yet. But so far, this is what we get. Okay. This is our database. Also, okay, let me go back to our code. And remember what I told you. And then once I'm done with config.php, and then let me show you something. I want you to open live support chat.js, which is just JavaScript. Open this file, and scroll up. And let me show you. After that, I will create, after creating the config.php, I will create authenticate.php. And then after that, and conversations.php, also find underscore conversations.php, post underscore message.php, notifications.php, logout.php. All this file, inside of this file, we have to create one file for each one of these elements. Okay, go back now, and what I want you to do, open your code editor. Let's continue. This is part 5. Part 5. Click on your main folder, right click on new file, and click on go to file, save as. Let's call this one config, like this, that php, and click on save. Okay, now we have config.php inside of our main folder. Okay, and now let's start coding. And remember, we did create our database. Now we need to add PHP. Is my PHP. Now I like I like commenting, guys. I like commenting, and then commenting is good. Now the first thing I'm going to say database host. Now let's create our connection. Okay, I'm going to put a connection. I can put it this way. And inside of our connection, we need host name, and so on. So we need host name, DB user. We need DB password. Also, we need DB name. Okay. Okay, now let's define. I'm going to say define the first thing, define our database host. Okay, and I'm going to put this one inside of our single quote. I prefer single quote instead of like this. Okay. And then the second one, our local host. Create our Okay. Now, next, what I'm going to do, guys, this is where I'm going to pass my database user. For the username, and then I'm going to define as well db user. Okay, and this is where I pass the root. Now let me pass our database password, and I'm going to define as well db pass. Now this is where I'm going to pass our database name. Now we need a db name, and now we need a okay, we don't have space here. I want you to bring them closer. Okay, now let me increase the size here. Okay, now this is clear. Now this is where I'm going to pass our this is for database name. Okay, for database password. Okay, after that put a comma here and put a single quote and leave it blank. But for database name, and let me go back, this is our database name here. I'm going to copy and paste it here, and okay. Now what I'm going to do, this is where I'm going to change pass our database central set. If you want, put it this way. I'm going to put it this way, and I'm going to say define as well db, oops, okay, okay. And then now this is where I have to create our authentication required. Our authentication should be required for the guest, and this is where I'm going to put okay, yeah, this is where I put okay. Now false. Okay, now we need to define now this is where I'm going to pass our quantity of message, or let's call it a maximum of messages that can receive. This is where I'm going to say number of messages you can receive, and use define I'll call it for max messages, and it should be, you can put anything you want. I'm going to put from anything you want, 25, 35, 30. What if you keep it let me keep it 25 like this. Okay, now next, guys, what I'm going to do, this is where, remember in the introduction I've showed you everything inside of the admin, inside of admin dashboard. You see the emoji list that I passed, and okay, this is where you can find it. If you put emoji code list HTML, and I can increase this page, okay, so that you can see right here. Right here, if you put this on your Google browser and then it will display this. And if you scroll down and see the Unicode right here, click on this link, this is the full emoji list version 15.0. You click on this link and then it will display, okay, open this page for you. And then this is where, let me increase this one as well. Okay, now you will take it from, you see U plus F1 F600, but you don't have to take the U plus, only take the 1 F600, 601, 2, 3, and so on. Now, what I mean by that, let me show you. Okay, and I'm going to say define as well, like this. Okay. All right, let me show you something. And now I add a space here. Okay, this is how you add it. You say 1 F 600. Let me go back again. This is U plus Unicode. You don't have to take the U, okay? And U plus, you don't have to take the U plus, but only take the 1 F 600, 601, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anything you like, you can take it. 1 F 920 and so on. Okay. Now I'm going to add a few more here, and you put the first one. Just add a camera and then start. You can do it this way. Send in one like this. Add a comma. Put the same thing or two. I will add just a few more, and then 3, 4, 6 or 5. Okay, I'm going to stop. I'm going to add one more. 6. Okay, once you're done, put a semicolon here. Okay, let's go to the next line. Now we're done with this part, and then now let's continue. Okay, now inside of our config.php, what I'm going to add next is to, let me skip one more line. Okay, this is where, remember, we can send the attachment as well. Not only the emoji, we will able to send the attachment, any file you can send, and so on. Now this is where I'm going to comment this, and I'm going to say attachment. Okay, this is where we display our attachment. Keep it this way. Okay, now, and then to display to add our attachments, I'm going to define attachment enable, like this. It should be true. Okay, now this is where we should upload our directory. Okay, upload our directory, and okay, to upload our directory, this is, I'm going to define and create our file upload. Okay, and then for this reason, we'll need a folder called attachment. To send attachment, when you send the attachment, all those files will sit inside of one of our folder, inside our main folder called attachment. Okay, and let's continue. File upload. Okay, file upload. Okay, this is right here. I'm going to copy, okay, copy this and go inside of our main folder, right click, click a new, create a new folder, and then I'm going to paste it and then click enter. Now we have our first folder called attachment. Okay, now let's continue and then put a semicolon and let's continue. Now next, what I'm going to do now, we have to give a maximum allowed a maximum size for the file. I'm going to say I'm going to allow upload file, give a value file size. This is the quantity 500. Okay, program. Right, now let's define this. I'm going to say max allowed okay 5 1 2 3. Okay, now next guys, after give the maximum allowed upload file size, now we need the file extension, and this is the file extension. Okay, this is where we pass our file extension. We have to define that with file extension. We talk about the file types that we are allowed. Okay, that the first thing we put it, that is a PNG. Okay, and you put a camera here, that and we need the JPEG camera, that no, this is the camera first, and then you put that. We can add more if you want guys, but I'm going to add only. Okay, now next what I'm going to do, probably our last let me bring this up. Now closing PHP. Okay, now this is the, as we add all of this, we're gonna measure them in milliseconds for our conversation, our request, when the user is online, and then all the general info. The first thing, our conversation. The second, our request for the user, that when the user is online. Also, all our general information. The first thing, and okay, we have to define that as well for the conversation. Okay, refresh it. Okay, remove this guy. Okay. Okay. Now this is yeah. Now this part is done, guys. The config.php is done. Go to file and then save everything. Save all. Okay. This part is done. Config.php is done. Now let's go straight again and create now one of let's create we said it earlier, authenticate.php. If you go back and open live support chat.js, which is your JavaScript, and then this is the first one we are going to create. We are going to create our first file here. Continue after config.php. Go ahead and copy authenticate.php, copy, and go inside of our main folder, right click, click on new file, click on go to file, save as, and paste this one here, click on save. Okay, we have it right here. And now let's add some code. Let's create our authenticate.php. And after creating config.php, we can go back and open our browser, go to our unfold our program. Okay, refresh it, click it. If you got any error message, that means that there is no error message, it's connect properly. Or what I'm going to do, I can yeah, it's that fine. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back to our code. And the first thing I'm going to do now, authenticate.php, create our PHP here. Okay. And then let's start coding. Okay, authenticate.php. And the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to mention we need remember, we need for our program, we need a main folder that supports pretty much everything. And then we will create our main.php down the road. But as for right now, let's add some code, but I have to include it. I have to call it. Okay, let me show you. Include main file. Okay, or I can say, put it simple, include main.php, but we do not have main.php yet, but we will create it. And for this reason, I'm going to say include like this main.php. We will create it down the road. Okay, next line of code, we have to validate the form data. Okay, because let me show you what I mean by that. To validate the form data, when you click on the app, okay, when you click here, we have name and we have your name, your email. We have to validate. Okay, to validate it in PHP here in this program, let me put I'm going to say validate the form data. I'm going to say if name, because we have name and then we have email address. Let me show you. When you click here, we have name, we have email address. We have name and then we have email. Yes, the same thing. Okay, we have name and put we have email 1212. Okay, now let's add our code here. this is where we pass a message. Please enter a valid name and email address. Okay. All right. This is the opening. This is the closing. Let's go next after that, and then we create the if condition again. Now for the filter variable, for the filter variable, which variable now for the filter variable email, let's say is filter variable, let's say if filter variable post email. Okay. Now I'm going to say filter validate email. Okay. Yeah. And then let's pass our code. Please a valid email address, like this. Okay. Oops. This is the opening and this is the closing. Go next after that. If again, this is, I'm going to use a flag match right here. Single quote our first pattern. This is the pattern, guys. Okay, this is let me see. I should get let's see. Okay. You have to close this one right here. Okay. And then this almost mess me up. Okay, and here we have remove subject. We don't need subject here. We should get our post. I should get our post method here. Okay, 212 pegman. We're here. Show you guys we don't have any error here. Okay, now let's pass and we have to exit. Let's say the message I'm going to pass that name must content only letters. Okay, opening, closing, go to the next one. Now what I'm going to do next, I'm going to select the account from the database, and it depends on the based on the, let me say it this way, based on your email address, based on the user email address. Now based on the user email address, I'm going to select the account from the database. To do so, and let me say select account from the database. Okay, now it's based on the user email address, and for this I'm going to use statement. Okay, select everything from account. Account is our table name account. Let me show you. Go back. PHP my admin is our first table. These are our tables list: account, conversations, messages, presets, word filters. These are our first one, account. Okay, and select everything from table called account. We use the where close where email. Okay, email inside our table called account equal, leave it like this. Yeah. Okay. Now, after we prepare our statement to select everything from the account based on the email address of the user, now we have to execute the code, and this is okay. Email space semicolon. Now, after execute the code, now we have to fetch it, search the result, and we should after we search the result, and we have to return them as an associative array. And then to do so, and let me comment this for you so that you can see what I'm talking about. I'm going to say fetch the result and return them as an associative array, like this. And to do so, I take the account equal statement Now, next line of code, this is where I'm going to check to see if the account exists. Okay, we have to check to see if the account exists. Now, let's check to see if the account exists. Okay, to do so, and then I'm to say, let me comment this for you. I'm going to say check if the account exists. Okay, and then I'm going to use the if statement. If, okay, I'm going to use the if statement. Okay, now we use this statement, select account from the database. When you select the account from the database, now once you select, let me try to explain it well for you guys. Once you select the account, it could be administrator, it could be an admin, operator, or it could be the user. But this is where I said if when you fetch the account, now if the account exists, that's why we check it. We try to find if the account exists. Now we have to check whether the user is an operator or guest. We have to check operator or guest or an admin. Okay, now we have to say if I put something like I said if yes, okay, if the account exists, check. Okay, if the account exists, make sure it's user, I put it this way, or operator. And then to do so, I'm going to use another if statement here for account. like this. But for the account, I have to check the role of those people. Okay, I'm going to say role like this. If role equal, oh come on. Okay, the first thing I'm going to check if the user is an operator. It's operator, oops, equal account role and equal admin. Okay, okay, come on, yes, okay. Now if when you check the account and you find out that it's an operator, okay, now we have to show the password input field so that the operator can log in without any issue. So this is what I'm going to do. And if I said the user like this is an operator like this, and then to use exit, please use the, okay, I'm going to use an anchor tag here, open, close, and now I'm going to pass something here, HUF admin, like this, and then here admin panel, to log in. Please use the admin panel to log in. This is where I pass the message, and then once I click on this link, and then you will be able to log in as an operator. Okay, and then now let me bring this up. Oh, come on. Okay, oops. Okay, now else if, okay, this is the opening, this is the closing, this is where I'm going to use a else if statement like this. Else if the account, okay, now let's check the role. And now if the account now is the user is a guest, I have to check for that too. What if it's a guest? Let me pass some code here. Now if the user is a guest, we have to authenticate the guest. Okay, we have to authenticate the guest. If the user, let me pass a message. Okay, put it this way: user is a guest, comma. We have to authenticate the user. Okay, now let me. To do so, I'm going to use an if statement. Oops, bring this up. If statement like this. Authenticate required. Or the password. Okay. All right. Now, guys, let's take it, and that's how I'm going to say exit. Okay. And we need a message. Login. required. Okay, now follow me. This is the opening, this block of code of if statement. Opening, closing, go next after that, bring this down, go here. Now if this is where I'm going to pass another if statement here. If the account password is empty now, if there's you don't add the password, you don't put your password, this is what's gonna happen. Let me show you. Now if empty account password, okay, if empty account, if the account password is empty, now if the user is an operator, for example, we have to provide the password. So therefore we have to say if okay, password, and take it from here, space, okay, password verify, and the first one, password verify, the first one has to be, it's the post message. It's a post like this. I have to remove this. Okay, let me make this smaller. Password, camera, and then here. Oops. Smaller. Okay. We have post password, account, password. Okay, password. Let me bring this closer here, and I can increase this for you and as a function. Okay, now if I have to verify the password. Now if the password, after verify the password is correct, and then now we have to authenticate the app as an operator. You have to authenticate the operator as well. So if I'm going to say password is correct, okay, and we have to authenticate the operator. To do so, this is how I'm going to use session, okay, chat, okay, login equal true. The same thing, ID, equal wall. I have to check everything. If the password is correct, I have to authenticate the operator. As an operator, I have to make sure I see the login is okay, the ID, the role is okay, and then in order to let the operator inside the admin panel, okay, to chat with the user, the person online. Okay, now equal account. Okay, now go to the next line. Now what I'm going to do, now I have to update the secret code. What is the secret code? I mean by that, I'm going to say space update the code. Remember I talked about the info. What I mean by secret code, by the code, I'm talking about that the PDO, the account, the email, and so on. Okay, now the first thing, check the ID. Email. Okay. Now, okay, go to the next line. What I'm going to do next, guys, okay, now we have to output. Everything is okay. Now we should display an output, show this the success of the login for the operator, okay? And to do so, what I'm going to do, I'm going to comment this as well for you, and I'm going to say show the success message, and that's why I'm going to say exit. Oops. Okay. Message like this, success. Okay. Message success. Remember, if you click here, this where is the opening of this one, of this bracket. This is opening. I'm looking for the closing. Here's the opening, and opening. Here's the opening. Oh, okay. Here's the opening. Oops. When you click here, is the opening, and here's the closing. Okay. What I want you to do, go next after this line, after this closing right here, and this is where I'm going to use the else statement. Else, in case now the password is okay. Now if the password is not okay, the password is an invalid password, you have to check this out too. And this is where I'm going to pass my I'm going to say, in case of the you have invalid, in case you have invalid password, you have to exit. Okay. And the message I want to pass, I'm going to say invalid password, or I prefer credential, like this. Okay. Okay. And then we pass this, and then follow me, guys. Else, this is the block of else code. Okay. And then now what I want you to do, I want you to go here, is this block of code, and don't go to the next line on here, go to the next line on this closing one, right here. Go here, or let me put it this way, maybe you probably understand it well, yeah. And then put it else statement like this. All right, this is the first else right here. This is another one after this one. Now, let's go inside. Now, what I'm going to do, this is where, as a guess, if you don't need, in case, guess the, okay. Okay, if we check the invalid password, and then this is where we showed our message by saying invalid credential. Else for the guess now, I'm going to keep it simple. Else for the guess now, to keep it simple, I'm going to copy some block of code starting from sessions, okay, and finish from here started from line 34 to line 40. Okay, I'm going to copy this block of code, and I might make some changes right here. Copy this block of code right here and go inside of this else statement and paste them. All right, now this is okay, and session chart. Oops, let me move them right here. Session, okay, chart, login true, session second one, leave it as it is. Okay, ID session second, third one. Okay, and the code, update info, ID, email. Okay, and then exit success. Okay, now this is fine. Okay, bring those closing up now, and then you got two. The first one, this is the second block of code of else statement, and then go here, go to the next line, and create another else statement. Oops. Like this. Okay. Now, this is where I'm going to check if the authentication is required. Let me put it this way. Is required. Put if. Okay, if the authentication is required. Now what I'm going to do, if okay. Okay. If authentication required for the password, now we have to check if the authentication is required. If the authentication is required, and then we have to send a message that it's required, and then I'm going to say exit is my message. Login required. Okay. Now, next, after that, we have to hash the password. After login, and then everything is okay, we enter your password, everything's fine, we have to hash the password inside of our database. Okay. To do so, let me show you how we are going to do that. And next, okay, exit message login required. This is where we are going. And go here. This is this block of code here. Okay, this block of code here. I want you to go next after this one. Now this is where I'm going to hash the password in case there is a one. Hash the password. Hold on, it has to be H. Yes. Okay, hash the password. Password. post, let me decrease, okay, post and then yes, password hash, password, post post password, password default, and here, okay, like this. Okay, next let me add some comment in case in case if the account does if the account does not exist, so we have to create one. Okay, if the account does not exist, we have to create one. If the account does not exist, we have to create one. Therefore, to create one, what I'm going to say, I'm going to use the statement inside our table called account. Oops, sorry. Go inside here. Add email, password, full name, role. Also, we need last seen and registered. Okay. Also, after adding all this, and then we need a value here, space, values. We don't know the value yet. That's why we put it this way. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Remove this, and then we need, oh, we have to close this one. Yeah, because this let's see registered. Oh no, yeah, we have to remove, follow me guys, we have to remove the one for registered. We have to remove this and then put it should to be over here. Oh no, yes, right here. Okay, yeah, this is this line of code right here. This is the opening single quote, this is the closing, as you can see when you click opening, closing, values. Okay, now next we have to create our statement, and then we have to execute that statement. Okay. Okay. Name, oops, no, we don't need. Let me remove it from here. Let me remove it from here. Okay, we need guest. We need a guest again. Guest, yes. Okay, and then put a comma here. We need a date like this. Let me decrease this. All right, gonna be small, guys, but oh, what I'm going to do, and I'm going to follow me. I'm going to bring this to the next and bring this, okay, and so that I can increase this. Yeah, date. This is the format space. All right. Single quote first. Okay. Now, and next one I'm going to, we have to retrieve all the account ID. Get all our account ID from the database. So we have to retrieve the account ID. And then after retrieving the account ID, we have to authenticate the new user. Every time you got this process, guy, the else statement, you got the password, everything is okay, you got everything, you got insert into account, you got a new email, we have to authenticate the new user. Every time, it's like a loop, okay? Every time you got a new user. And to do so, we are going to create pretty much the same thing. I'm going to copy the same block of code, like using session for that. And if you scroll up, okay, if you scroll up here, and then we are going to start from session, and then exit message. Go ahead and copy this block of code, okay, and go after this comment message, and I want you to paste it here. Let's see, exit here. Let's see, my God, okay, this, okay, paste this one over here, and okay, let's see, okay, let's see, we got this closing. Let me bring this up. Pretty much we're almost done with this authenticate.php. I'm looking for the, we're supposed to get only one closing bracket here. We have two. I'm figured out which one is, this one is the, okay, I'm trying to find this one. Let me scroll up to see where this one is. I'm looking for the opening because it's a closing one. Okay, let me bring this down like this, and so that okay, this is the if, check if the account exists, if account, and then this is the closing, and this one is this is the last else statement, and then it goes in if the second one is, we're supposed to get only one closing here, and when you click on this, it will, this is the closing. 1 second, then check the opening. This is the opening. Check if the account exists. This is the opening right here, and then this is the closing for that. As you can see, if you follow it, you scroll up, and then right here. Now let's look for the this one right here on top, and it goes here. This is not supposed to be, yes, it's not supposed to be. This last else statement should be the last closing bracket. Okay, last, it's supposed to be the last block of code right here at the bottom here. But this one, I want you to cut this one here, because remember I told you we're supposed to get only one closing here, which is fine. And then we should place this one where it says here, right here. This is where we should place it on line 61 for me. Where this is why I like commenting. And this is where it said if the authentication is required. Go here on top of the else statement, and then you see this closing. Go ahead, click here, go to the next line, and then paste this one and bring it over here like this. Leave it like this. Okay, that's when we have 1, 2, 3, and then after that we got else, and then is the opening, and is the closing, and is the closing of the PHP. Yes, guys, and now this is the end of authenticate.php. Don't forget to save the program. Go to file and save all. Okay, now we remember this is part 5. We did the config.php. We connect our database. Also, we authenticate some, check the message, error message, if the password is empty and it's not empty, if everything is okay. Login, check to see if the user is an operator or a guest, and ask the operator to log in as a operator, and you have to authenticate the guest and to ask the guest to enter his or her name, also the password. Yes, and this is where this is where we are going to stop for part 5, and then next time we will continue create the conversation.php, and yes, yeah, conversations and post messages, logout files, those files. Next time we will create those files. Okay, now this is where we are going to stop for part 5, and then if you have any error message, guys, let me know. I will be glad to help you out. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you are new. Help this channel to grow, and don't forget to like. When you like, the YouTube algorithm take this channel, the video, the tutorial, and spread them out so that people from far can find them. Thank you once again. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and see you in the next tutorial for part 6. Stay tuned. All right, thank you. God bless you.